So many beautiful people in the audience. Thank you so much for coming out to my panel. I know. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. You guys enjoying your Fan Expo here in Dallas this weekend? Yes. You should be. So many of us came out because we love you. We appreciate you. By the way, on that note, take a moment right now. This is kind of the thing I like to do. I want you to turn to the person sitting next to you. I want you to say, I'm grateful that you're alive and I'm grateful that you're here right now. Do that right now. It's a little church on Saturday, guys. That's what we're doing. That's right. That's right. It's the most important thing. We have to recognize that the people that are around us, whether they agree with us or not, are children of God. These are people that are here because we are so grateful that we exist, that we should. Now, are you loving yourselves? Are you loving yourselves? I want to show a hands of people that are actually actively choosing to love themselves. Okay, now put your hands down. That's another fun little exercise. And take a moment to look around the room when we do this. Raise your hand if you deal with stress in your life. Should be basically every hand in the room. Hands down. Raise your hand if you deal with anxiety in your life. Hands down. Raise your hand if you deal with depression in your life. It's real, guys. We're all struggling, right? We're all dealing with this stuff. Mental health is like dental health. If you don't actively brush and floss your brains and your heart on a daily basis, if you're not working at that, if you're not investing in yourself, and you are so worthy of investing in yourself, then those little mental colds, those little emotional colds, those start like getting worse and worse, those little cavities, and eventually you need a full-blown root canal. And some of you guys know this, some of you don't, but 8 years ago, when I moved to the great state of Texas, by the way, 8 years ago. Hey man, happy to be here. I love California, but it's broke. But when I moved out to Texas, I didn't realize I was dealing with so much unhealed trauma that I was running from. So many things that had happened in my life. I had a complete mental breakdown. And thank God, I had the family and friends around me to support me and hold me up just long enough so I could get to life-saving therapy that literally saved my life, changed my life. One of the biggest things I learned in that time was that I never loved myself. I had never learned what that even meant. And a lot of people talked about it, and I always assumed, well, I'm not like, I'm not cutting myself, I'm not hitting myself, I don't think that I'm not loving myself, but I wasn't loving myself. So I highly encourage any and all of you, if you haven't really looked into what that means, do it. Because you are worthy of that love. God loves you, and you are worthy of God's love, and you are worthy of the love in this crowd. So give yourselves a round of applause, because you are worthy of that love. And I love you, and I mean that. I know I don't know a lot of you, but I don't think we have to know everybody in order to love them. Honestly, I think the best definition of love that I've ever heard in my life, to love is to will the good of the other. And that's something we don't do enough of. We think, I don't like this person. Guess what? You don't have to like somebody to love them. You don't have to like somebody to want the best for them in their life, to want them to wake up so that there's better for them in their life. In fact, sometimes, most often, it's the people that we don't like the most that we need to love the deepest. And some of you out there are believers, some of you out there are Christians or believers in Jesus and things like that. Right, well, what does it say in Scripture? It says, to love those who love you, that's easy. Love your enemy and pray for your persecutor. So in a time, specifically right now, we are so polarized, right? The world is so polarized, left and right and red and blue and all that nonsense. Everyone's being told, you've got these evil people over here on whatever side it is. You gotta hate those people. Do not listen to those lies. We have to love the people across the aisle. We have to love the people that we disagree with. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean you have to like them. You can vehemently be against a lot of the lies that are being spewed out of their mouths, but for God's sake, for your sake and for their sake, will their good, want the best for their lives. Okay, amen? We good with that? Okay, great. I'll stop preaching. Well, at least I'll stop preaching about that. There'll be some other stuff I'm gonna go on tangents about. Hey, come on now. Woo. I need like one of those cloths so I can keep dapping myself. Listen, so who's been to a Zachary Levi panel in the past before? Oh, okay. So, show of hands, who's not been to a Zachary Levi panel in the past? Oh! Well, you're in for a treat. I mean, you already got treated to some sermon, but now you get into, so listen, because a lot of you guys, if you're here, actually here's another fun little thing. So I kind of heard in the back, but through applause or yips or whatever you want to do. So who's here because you're a Chuck fan? Oh yeah, well I can tell. By the way, you're welcome for the easiest cosplay ever created. That Chuck is the easiest. Great, we delicious over here, fantastic. Yips and applause if you are here because you're a Shazam fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Round of applause if you're here because you're a Tangled fan. The pitch always goes a little higher. It's all those girls. It's Flynn Rider. Did they get my notes right? I don't know. You tell me.
Nope.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Eugene Fitzherbert for the uninitiated or the initiated. Well, listen. Regardless of what brought you here, even if you haven't been a fan of any of those things, if it's something other random, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, anybody? Yeah. Pew 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 all day long. For Kurt Warner, American Underdog, listen, whatever brought you here, I'm grateful that you're here. Because, by the way, I know there are so many wonderful, talented human beings that are out there signing for you, here for you. So thank you for taking a little bit of your weekend to spend with me right now. How much time do we have, by the way? About 40-ish minutes? I don't know. Forever? I get to stand here forever? Great. You got some extra waters, beers? Because we're going to be here. All right. So what I like to do, I don't really like to do moderated stuff, and I don't clearly like to sit very much because I got a lot of energy. And what I like to do is I like to do fan Q&A because you guys all spent your time and your money to be here. So we got a microphone right here. Anybody that has any questions, and anything at all, literally anything. I mean, try to keep it respectful. But if you have any questions, I want you to ask the questions. And we're going to start right here with this gentleman wearing this wonderful Superman shirt. By the way, who's excited for the new Superman? Come on. Yes, sir.
Have you talked to James Gunn about joining, possibly?
Have I talked to James Gunn about joining?
About possibly going over, doing something in the new DC universe?
I have not. No, he's been very busy making Superman and running DC, and I've been very blessed that I've continued to be able to have more jobs. And so, no, I don't know what the new plans for the DC universe are. If they see fit to have more Shazam and I get to keep playing that role, I would love to. I love playing that role. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Christopher Reeves in Superman, and I was a big fan of Tom Hanks in Big, and I got to be the superhero that was both. So it was awesome. And if I get to keep playing that, then awesome. And by the way, listen, I mean, Jason Momoa is now Lobo, apparently, so I guess you can be multiple people in that universe, and if there was another character I got to play or whatever, I'd gladly do that too.
You could always just go to another universe in that cave that you have.
In a cave that I have? Oh, you mean go to another, like a parallel universe with...
From
the lair.
Yeah, the lair, yeah.
From the lair, yeah, in the multiple doors. Yeah, possibly, sure. Thank you, sir, appreciate your... Okay, yes, and who's next? Careful, the microphone will jump out and bite you if you're not careful.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, nice booming voice.
Yeah, thank you. My question's about Chuck.
Yes, sir.
I know I've asked you actually, but about Chuck the movie.
Yes, sir.
I need to know, is there a plot somewhere that is in your head or some writer has this, and what does Sarah remember?
Hard-hitting questions. Well, who wants a Chuck movie? That's the appropriate answer. Listen, man, I've said it even before we stopped making the series. I would love to make a Chuck movie. And I think particularly because of the ending of the series, which I won't spoil for anybody who hasn't watched it, but if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I think that the audience deserves at least one movie to wrap that up, to answer some of those things. And does Sarah remember? She better. If she doesn't, I'll burn the world down. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about that. But I would answer that question in the movie for sure.
So does somebody have a script somewhere?
There is no script, but I do have an idea that I've been churning on for a while that I think would be a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
Nice try, though. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hi, Zach, big fan.
Thank you.
Being a wrestling fan, I know that you saw Black Adam, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. what is the what would you like? I would like to see you in just your character versus Black Adam. What do you think? Who's better, you or Black Adam?
Well, me, obviously. What are you, crazy?
Rock
Would
is,
you think I would ever answer that differently?
The Rock is twice your size. I mean,
Bro, it's magic.
so is Black Adam.
Hang on a second. This is one of the things that I've never understood. By the way, not that I'm trying to attack you.
No,
Hear me out.
I want to hear you.
But let me ask you a question. When you read, and I was a big, I read a lot of Marvel comics. I was more of a Marvel kid than I was a DC kid, but I was both. Sure, yes. By the way, they're all great. We don't have to hate each other. We can all love Marvel and we can all love DC, right? We can all do all those things. And even within DC, we can love the Snyder movies and we can love the other movies. We don't have to be divided in all of this stuff. Can't we all just get along? But hear me out really quick. When you're watching a Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man is a teenage kid who's not that big, but you never question whether or not he has the strength to take on even the Hulk or somebody else that he would go fight in his comic books. So why are we so hung up that Shazam, maybe me played by Shazam, might be not as large as The Rock playing Black Adam? The size doesn't matter when it comes to all of those superpowers. It doesn't matter, right?
That's true.
Okay,
Right.
so there you go. So,
Okay.
so Shazam would win. Okay, great. Thank you. Great. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
It's all right.
When you play Mario Kart, who do you play as, and what is your favorite track?
Finally, somebody's getting to the meat of it. So here's the thing. I'm still not convinced, and some people are very, very convinced, and I think depending on the iteration of Mario Kart, there may have been some advantages to being different characters, and the truth is, like, I haven't really dug deep enough into it to know if they've actually done that. I've tried to do different, like, character and kart situations, and I never really find there to be that much of a difference. But I'm a Mario guy. I've always been a Mario guy. I'm like a straight down the middle. Like, I liked his stats. That he was kind of like in the middle a little bit, like he, I don't know, not average, but like he kind of had a little bit of everything, but he wasn't like, he didn't have the fastest acceleration or the most weight or whatever it was, so I'm Mario. That's who I am. Yeah, I mean, the name's in the title of the game, so I figure I gotta go with the star. Yeah.
And then what's your favorite track?
Oh, favorite track? Ooh, I mean, Rainbow Road, yeah, it's kind of a banger. Yeah, it's kind of a banger. I mean, it's a rainbow. Why would you want to drive on it? Also, it's so hard. Like, I remember that first Rainbow Road was so infuriating, and particularly when you're playing against your friends, and you're like crushing it, and then you just get blue shelled off into infinity, and you're like, what the? So yeah, Rainbow Road, I'll go with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
Yes. By the way, can we give a round of applause for our ESL? Not ESL. ASL.
okay. Real quick, just out of curiosity, what would you say was your favorite aspect of playing Shazam?
His heart. I mean, honestly, I think that's probably the favorite aspect of most of the roles that I've gotten to play, and I can only explain it in that, like, sometimes I find roles, but sometimes roles find me, and oftentimes they do. And I think that it's like we all have a certain energy that God gives us, our spirit, our soul, our energy that we bring into this world. And ever since I was a little kid, man, I've just always led with my heart. I love people. I care about people. I care about the world. I care about fighting for the world. I care about fighting for what's true and what's right. And sometimes that gets me into hot water, even recently with some stances that I've taken in this world. I try to always speak what I believe to be true, and I try to do it in love always. And Shazam, Billy Batson, is another example of that. He's this kid who, bounced around in the foster system and didn't feel that love from his parents, but he always held on to it inside, which is why the Wizard saw that he was the champion. It wasn't because he was the biggest, the strongest, or anything else. It's because he had integrity. Deep down in him, he always was gonna do what was right, and he was gonna fight for that and sacrifice himself if it meant it. And so that's the biggest thing I love. And then also, it's just fun. Of course, like as an adult, I get to be a kid again, Like, that was so fun. So those are the aspects.
One more question, if that's all right.
Okay.
What would you say is your favorite role you've ever played?
Me. to me. And to be honest, I've just recently had a child. I'm a father now. Thank you. Thank you. He's 8 weeks old, and anybody who has kids, so we're in that, no sleep newborn phase, which is an incredible juggling act of challenge and elation, but that's the greatest role I've ever played. Man. I am so stoked to be a dad. I wanted to be a dad my whole life. So yeah, that's the best role I've ever played, for sure.
God bless you, Zach.
God bless you too. Thanks, man. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn. Nice
Hi,
to
Brooklyn.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My sister Sienna married Rusty Robinson's son Landon.
Okay.
So I guess we're family.
We're family. Hi.
I was wondering if I could give you a hug.
I do hand hugs. Come here, hand hug. Come here. Come here. Give me that hand hug. Come here. Boink. There you go. Hi, fam. Wait, I'm sorry. What was your sister's name? Was Sienna the mic?
Sienna Robinson?
Sienna?
Yes.
Sienna. Okay, cool. All right.
And then I was wondering if you could give us a smolder. Thank you very much.
What if that was a smolder?
That's awesome.
Hey.
Okay, hi, I'm gonna film this, sorry.
Okay.
So I've never seen Chuck. I guess I need to watch it because everyone who's talking about it. I know you from Shazam.
It's a banger.
Okay. I know you from Shazam, but I'm here to talk about Tangled.
Okay.
I love Flynn.
As you should.
Is there gonna be a part 2, or is there gonna be a part 2, or would you ever do it on Broadway? If there was like a part.
Well, I don't know about a part 2. We did a Tangled series. If you've not watched the Tangled series, highly recommend it. Anybody watch the Tangled series here? Yes, a few people. So we had a Tangled series. It was on Disney. It's not a kid's cartoon. I mean, obviously it's fit for kids to watch. It's a wonderful show for kids as well. But it's really intelligent. It's really well made. Chris Sonnenberg, our showrunner, still a really dear friend of mine. Both Mandy and I and a lot of the original cast came back to do that. It's a different animation style. It's actually really cool. It's like almost as if Rapunzel was animating it. It's like her artwork that is the type of art for the show. So if you want more Tangled, definitely go watch that. It's really, really good. I know that they were very actively talking about making a live action Tangled, which unfortunately I am just too old to play. I know, stop it. No, stop it. Listen, here's the thing. The story, you guys know this, Rapunzel's 17, turning 18, and once she turns 18, she has her first kiss with Flynn. I am far too old to be playing a man who is kissing an 18-year-old girl. That is just not, that's not okay.
Well, the part 2 could be like years later. They have their own kids.
Well, right, but I mean, the Disney live action remakes are typically remakes of the story that was the animated version. So they were actively casting that and looking for people. I don't know that they're making it anymore. I don't know what's going on with all of that. I was gonna be happy if like Mandy and I could be cast as the king and queen, Rapunzel's parents. I thought that would be a fun little, cameo. But I have no idea what's going on with that. And I don't know if they'll make a Tangled 2 movie. Although I'd love it if they did. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. And if they ever did it on Broadway, I mean, I depending on how they cast that, I mean, I guess, I don't know. From a stage, I could look young enough because people are far enough. Put some heavy makeup on me, dye the grays. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say about that, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
All right, great segue given the age discussion. So you were born September 1980, which makes you one of the youngest Gen Xers.
Yeah.
That being the case, what do you think was the coolest thing about growing up as a kid in the 80s?
Bro, where do I begin? Well, first of all, yeah, I guess I'm Gen X. Well, actually, no. Recently, I found out, and for any of you who I think are born, I think it's like between 1978 and 1985, we're the Goonies generation. Absolutely. There should have been a lot more applause. So I'm in that, and we're that weird generation that kind of like bridges the gap from analog to digital.
Some people call you guys Zennials.
Zennials, sure, I'll take that, why not? But growing up in the 80s, I mean, listen, I think 70s and 80s and even a little bit in the 90s, that was kind of the heyday of I mean, not to say that there's not cool stuff going on right now, but listen, man, the internet, social media, these are like really double-edged swords. And we're seeing the really toxic effects of how that's all playing out, particularly in our children right now. Even in us adults. I mean, social media is such a trip. Well, smartphones in general, right? Smartphones are both like the greatest Swiss Army knife that was ever created. You can do so many things with one tool, and it's also the deepest narcissist pool we've ever stared into. It's so sad. Social media is the greatest source of mental illness and also the greatest resource of mental health resources, right? So it's a weird balance, and I try to use it for that purpose. It's like I can't just, for my work and for everything else, like I gotta utilize it, but I try to utilize it for as much good as I can utilize it for. But in the 80s, before we had all that bullshit, sorry, by the way, sometimes I do drop some language, I apologize. But before all that stuff took over and before helicopter parenting, I mean, bro, my parents had no idea where I was. They didn't. And we survived and we did okay. I didn't wear a helmet when I rode a bike. We were building ramps out of nothing and jumping it over each other. And, that's the world that we grew up in. And to be honest, like with my son that is now fresh into the world, I'm gonna do everything I can to try and give him that kind of a life. I don't think any child before 16 should have a cell phone in their hands. I just don't. I think that, particularly with smartphones, because once any one kid has one, even if you are really good about not giving your kid a smartphone, everybody knows the kid that's got a smartphone. And by the way, I'm gonna get heavy in a few moments here, but just so you guys know, like online pornography has gone rampant, right? It is bad. It is bad. The average age of children, young boys watching pornography is 8 years old. 8 years old. Let that sink in for a second. That is so sinister. That is so nefarious. And it's because all of these things, these ubiquitous little machines are in everybody's pocket. So we have to be more intentional about what we're doing, what we're giving our children. We have to be. So I'm really grateful that I grew up in a world that didn't have any of that. I got bullied plenty, but I got bullied in real life. And that was hard. But at least I wasn't getting cyberbullied by people that are hiding behind. I mean, now I get cyberbullied, but I'm an adult and I can handle that stuff. But so, growing up in the 80s, man, and also I loved all the neon and I loved all the music, so, all that stuff. God bless you. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being so open about your mental health struggles and all that you've dealt with.
Yeah.
Now that you've had such a great level of success and continue to, do you still deal with imposter syndrome?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I think that imposter syndrome is something that everybody deals with on some level, And I think that is rooted ultimately in how much are you actually loving yourself? How much are you having grace and patience and empathy with yourself and forgiving yourself? A lot of us don't learn to forgive ourselves because our parents, doing the best that they could, by the way, that's one of the things that we must recognize. Everybody is actually doing the best they can. That's a really hard pill to swallow because a lot of people are jerks and they don't seem to, it's like, why? You think that's your best by being a jerk and doing this and doing that? But that's what they learned. That's what they learn. I mean, literally, people that go and strap bombs to their bodies and they go into markets and they kill innocent people. It's so easy, obviously, for us to say that is evil. That is pure evil. That act absolutely is evil. That person who did it thought that they were doing the holiest thing that they could possibly do. Now, it doesn't excuse any of it. It doesn't excuse people going and doing horrible things, evil things, jerk things in the world. Don't ever confuse that. We're not excusing it. But it does allow us to have an empathy for the person, right? And so I think that the more we can apply that to ourselves, a lot of our parents, they parented us in a way because they didn't want us to do stupid shit. And so they would come down on us and they would go, you stupid jerk, and why are you doing that? Da, 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 right? Well, what that does is our inner voices, more often than not, are echoing our parents' voices and how they parented us. That's what's going on. And so you have to be able to break that cycle. You have to be able to say, no, that's not God's voice. Certainly not God's voice, and that's not my voice. That's a lie. That's the condemnation, that's the shame. That is not from God. That is not love. And we have to break those circuits. We have to say, no, I know that even though I failed, even though I screwed up, even though I've hurt people in my life, I was doing the best that I could at the time. And then you recognize that, and then you do better. And then you try not to do that anymore.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, for sure.
Hey,
Hey, Zach, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for your talent and thank you for just all the great characters you've brought, especially Shazam. Shazam's always been important to me because he represents what you can be.
Sure.
Billy Batson,
Sure.
bad situation, but then he becomes, the best version of himself. And I think you were the perfect person to play that character.
Thank you.
You're my favorite Shazam. You'll
Thank you.
always be my favorite Shazam.
Thank you.
Thank you for being Shazam.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, love, not even a question, just love. Thank you, bro. You waited a long time to just give me a lot of compliments. That feels guys. Yes?
Hello.
Hello.
If you could pick anyone to be Flynn Rider in Tangled besides yourself, who would it be?
Brad Pitt. No. No, well, listen, I mean, people would ask that online, and when they were doing the live action casting, and I was like, I don't know. I know he gets all the roles for everything, but I think Timothée Chalamet would be an interesting choice for that. Some people are like, no, not Timothy. I was like, I don't know. The truth is, there are so many talented actors. I don't know all of them. They're working in all these different movies and TV shows and stuff. So there could be somebody that I'm just totally unaware of that would just knock it out of the park, and I want them to. I don't hold on to it so tight that it's like, no, that's mine, and I can't. It's like I just want whoever it is. I want them to embody that character the way that our wonderful writers wrote it, that our directors directed it, that I tried to do my best to bring it to life. I think Flynn Rider is, I know I'm biased, but like the best Disney prince that ever was. Outside of Aladdin to me was OG, and he had his own movie. I mean, he was like kind of, one of the only ones that had his own men princes that had their own movie. But within the movies where it was about the princess and he then being the prince, Flynn's the best. He's like the Han Solo of Disney princes, you know what I mean? Like, you can't beat that. So I just want somebody to embody that and understand that transformation that he goes through. It's like one of the best character arcs. He goes from being this selfish, self-centered, ego-driven kind of dude, and he learns so much from Rapunzel because she's so pure and wonderful and loving, and it changes him. That love changes him. So whoever it is, I want them to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, young Ghostbuster.
Hi. What was your favorite role to play?
All of them. Shazam was a lot of fun, to be honest, because it was a dream come true in so many ways. Like I said, watching Superman and Big and all those stuff growing up, and I got to play that. Also, like, being able to be in the Marvel universe was amazing. And even though I was supposed to be in the first Thor, but Chuck's schedule conflicted and I couldn't do that, but then I got to be in the second one. I was in the third one, but for a moment before Hela just very unceremoniously murdered me. But that was cool. But I got to be my own superhero. I got to put on this spandex and lead that charge and play such a fun character. So that was an amazing role to play. But Chuck, I mean, well, it's hard to say Chuck because I was barely acting in Chuck. I am Chuck. Playing video games and reading comic books. I mean, no joke. I was reading, anybody read Y the Last Man, the graphic novel Y the Last Man? I was reading Y the Last Man actively, and I came back to work that season, and in Chuck's bedroom, they had put Y the Last Man graphic novels in his bookshelf. And I was like, what is this? This is, all right. Art imitating life, imitating art. So that was a wonderful role to play, but also Flynn Rider, and also like all the other wonderful roles I've gotten to play. So I don't know, that's a very tough question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'm a huge fan of She Loves Me and First Date, and I'm so thankful I got to see She Loves Me at least online.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about stage acting versus in movies or TV shows? And would you ever consider doing it for another role on Broadway?
Absolutely, I would love to go back and do more stage work. That's where I started. By the way, anybody out there who wants to be an actor, is thinking about like, oh, I'd like to do film and television and stuff like that. Well, actually, hold on. I'll go with what I was saying, which is, if you want to be an actor, theater. Don't think, I'm just going to go jump and do film and television. Start in theater. You learn so much. You learn everything. It's the fundamentals of what it means to be an actor. What it means to build a character and have a scene partner and work with them and take direction and amplify the words that you've been given and all that. I love stage. And the thing I love the most about it is this. It's quite literally this. You know, I tell people a lot when they come to my table, what I love about conventions so much is, first of all, I love people, and I'm also an extrovert. So like, my introvert friends that do conventions, they get drained real quick because it's an energy thing, right? Energy transfer. I'm a hardcore extrovert. So I meet people all day long and it just fills me up. Particularly because you guys, you know, I tell people, it's like, this is the wackiest job. I mean, it's the coolest job. But we basically, I stand there, I bring my little boom box, by the way, if you ever come by my table, I got some nice tunes playing for everybody. But I play my music, and wonderful people like you wait very patiently to pay me very good money to scribble on pictures of my own face. Like, it's very strange. But philosophically, I really believe that I'm being paid to love on people. I love that. I love it. But what it also does is it gives all of us the opportunity to close the loop of love and appreciation. Because when I do theater, I get that in the moment, right? If I tell a joke and people laugh, or I finish a number and people are clapping, or at the end of the show, whatever, we've all gotten to experience together. I know how people felt about what it was. When you make film and television, you make it in a vacuum. You have no idea what people think about it. You have no idea if it resonates with people or not, unless you meet those people. And the coolest, best place to meet the most amount of people that actually watch your film and television is coming to conventions just like this. So with theater, yes, absolutely. Yeah, you give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are the ones who even make this happen. Never forget, we don't have jobs unless you guys support our jobs. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Thank you from the bottom of my heart that you guys support me and continue to support me in the things that I do. I would not be able to keep doing it unless you did that, so thank you. But with theater, you get this really wonderful live, like it's a live wire. It's incredible, and it fills you with so much dopamine. And so that's the thing I love the most about theater. Yeah, absolutely. Hello.
Hello. First, I loved your performance in American Underdog.
Thank you.
And my question is, like, is there a chance that you can come back as a Shazam in the new DCU, or is that version like just done?
I answered that earlier, but I don't know. I really have no idea. That's all way above my pay grade.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. I thought you were going to ask if I was going to come back in American Underdog too.
Oh gosh. So my question, I think it's a little obvious, but who would win between Shazam and Flynn Rider, and could Flynn maybe outsmart Shazam?
That's a toughie. Well, Shazam, I think you started with this. This is an obvious question. Yeah, Shazam will win. But also, Flynn has a cartoon.
That's true. That's very true.
And so, if we learn nothing else from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is a banger, you should, by the way, go back and watch that movie. It's so good. It still holds up to this day. What was the, somebody help me with this. What was this stuff, by the way, and also Christopher Lloyd is here, who was so good as the villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But remember there was like what was the dip. The dip. There's only one way to kill a tune, it's the dip. And unless Shazam has the dip, then I don't know if Shazam can beat Flynn Rider. I mean, he can like hold him down indefinitely.
Yeah.
Or like use some magic to do whatever. But I don't know that he can kill him. So I don't know. You should ask Reddit, because I think you might find the answer there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thanks. Thank you. Hello. Great cosplay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was wondering if you were ever offered a role for either Marvel or DC that's not Shazam.
Yes.
What would you like to play?
Oh, right, what? I don't know. I think playing like I really loved Spider-Verse, because I loved seeing like the older kind of like schlubby version of Spider-Man. It was like eating too much pizza and kind of like down on his luck. I think that would be a really fun Spider-Man to play. I mean, I don't necessarily need to be the schlubby version, but like the older version of Peter Parker, like I think that would be fun. I just love Spider-Man. I think he's, to me, Billy Batson and Peter Parker are actually quite similar. Like they just have that childlike exuberance and care, and they want to do what's right in the world, and so I think that would be fun. I always, before Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool, I wanted to play Deadpool so bad, bro. I loved that character, but Ryan did a great job doing that. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I really have no idea. I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about that because I've been doing all the other things. I don't know, what role would you want to see me if I was playing a Marvel character or DC character?
Because you did say like an older Peter Parker,
Sure.
that would be really cool, but
Yeah.
then I heard somebody in the back say a Reed Richards, but that would be...
Oh, listen, I love to play
mainly
Reed.
the hair.
Yeah.
You got the Reed
What do you mean this? Yeah, and the long arms. Yeah, exactly. That would be fun. Listen, man, that would be an amazing role. But I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I think that you know, I'd like to. I want all of these movies to work. I mean, our industry. Actually, this is a good time to tangent into this. When the person asked me about theater acting, and I was giving advice on being an actor. Y'all, I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. AI is very, 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 very real. It's very real. And it is, and can be and will be used in very evil ways. It will be. AI is coming for Hollywood first. We are the canary in the coal mine. You are going to start seeing, have you guys seen the new Google videos, AI videos with audio and all that stuff? We are, people were saying, we're never gonna get there. People are gonna have 6 fingers, and it's like, no. We are, the uncanny valley is we're almost across it. And so I cannot appeal to you enough that if you want to have actors and people that make movies that you love, to still be able to make those movies and TV shows, you have to support them. You have got to do something to say, hey, we want this. Because if you don't, and a lot of movies are not doing well, the studios are all gonna basically just start making AI, and more than that, they're gonna start giving you all the opportunity to make whatever you want, and it's gonna be very tempting. And I won't blame you. It's gonna be, by the way, it'll be the price point will be pennies on the dollar, but eventually it's gonna become very ubiquitous. It'll be like, you'll be able to go to, using an example, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not, I don't have like insider Disney info or whatever, but imagine if all the studios and all of their big libraries of IP, they give you access to that. And so you can go to, let's say, Disney Plus, and you can go and they have like an AI creators corner, and you have access to everything in their catalog, which means you can go and say, okay, well, I want a action-adventure treasure hunt on Mars with Luke Skywalker and Indiana Jones and the Avengers and Flynn Rider, because why not? And they're fighting killer clowns from outer space, and it feels like it was directed by Steven Spielberg and scored by Hans Zimmer. Enter. And you will have a one-of-one instantaneously right in front of you. A movie that you will feel like, I made this. I'm the filmmaker. Look at this thing. I just made this with my own creativity and a few keystrokes, and you just got access to that. How many Star Wars fans are in the audience right now? Show of hands. I would imagine it'd be everybody, but okay. I see your lightsabers. Thank you. Yes. How many Star Wars fans in the world, when given the opportunity to make whatever Star Wars movie they want, whatever Star Wars series they want, whatever Star Wars video game they want, and for pennies on the dollar, aren't going to go and do that? You will. I imagine you probably will. Just know that when you do, if you do that, that's 400 people that just lost their job. And that's just my industry. We as human beings have got to hold some kind of line, because AI is coming for every single one of our industries. In just a couple of years, the people that are at like the top level of all these AI companies, the former Google CEO, he says in like 1 to 2 years, white collar jobs are gone. All of them are gone. AI will replace all those jobs. That's millions and millions and millions of people that are going to be unemployed. I mean, I don't want to sound like a doomer and a gloomer. I don't want to sound like, the sky is falling. But guys, the sky is falling. It really is coming. So I don't know what else to say about that other than we have to keep our eyes open, and we have to be able to see each other and support each other as much as you can. When you see people in human industries, which basically all industries are right now, and you have 5 minutes, that's us. Oh, we got a few people left. Just try to support human as much as you can. Human art, human entertainment, human food service, human drivers, human whatever you can. Got it? Yes? Good? Please? Yes? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Speed round. We're going to get as many of these as we can in 5 minutes.
Ooh, don't like that. So, I really respect you as an actor.
Thank you.
I really respect you as a character.
Thank you.
I respect your faith, everything.
Thank you.
Someone already asked my question. can I challenge you to an arm wrestle? Really quick arm wrestle.
No.
Okay, fine. Different question. 100 Flynn Riders versus one gorilla. Who wins?
100 Flynn Riders.
Why?
Because they're cartoons.
You're right.
We've been over this.
Hi, my name's Izzy.
Hi, Izzy.
My question is, if you could play any book, comic, or movie character, who would you play?
I don't know. But great question. You stumped me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Zach, I'm Jason.
Hi, Jason.
That's my daughter. As a father and a Christian, I just want to thank you and congratulate you for the stand that you've taken for your faith and your beliefs.
Thank you.
In an industry that tends to turn its back on you.
I appreciate that.
And I don't really have a question. I waited all this time just to tell you that. It was on my heart. I love the preaching in the beginning. Just stay strong for us and we'll keep supporting you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Hey, I'm Nick. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. So just in contrast with AI you said earlier, do you think there are any, some benefits to it, or do you think it's just all
Yes.
negative?
No. Listen. I'm a firm believer, and I've said this for many years. We cannot stop progress. We can only hope to guide it, right? You can't just say, no. I think there's going to be incredible advantages to a lot of these things. In fact, very soon, we're going to have earbuds, like Apple AirPods, are going to have real-time language translation.
Right.
That's going to be amazing. Across the globe, for us to travel anywhere, for us to be able to, not even travel, even right here in Texas, right? My Spanish is un poquito. I have a lot of friends that I would love to be able to interact with on a better level, being able to translate that, right? I think that's going to be incredible. It's going to break down so many language barriers, and I'm about it. That's going to displace a lot of translators.
Right.
We have to ask ourselves at any point, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Right.
With that, I think that the juice is worth the squeeze. And I hope that we would also be empathetic to those people losing those jobs and help them find new jobs. But we have to implement AI as best we can without allowing it to take over. It should always, to the best of our ability, it should remain a tool in a human's toolbox and not replace the whole human. That's what we need to do.
Right. I believe there's a balance.
It is a balance.
Right.
It is a balance.
Yes.
And keep in mind, it's not even just the AI, it's who controls the AI. Because right now, there are people that have certain agendas. There are people that have certain slants about what they think about the world. And so if you were to go to, say, ChatGPT, and you say, hey, can you write me a poem in the stylings of this person or that person? And if that person agrees with their political agenda, they go, oh, great, of course, yeah, we'll write you a poem no matter, that's fine, great. But if you were to ask them to write a poem in the stylings of somebody that they don't agree with, they say, oh, that's hate speech. And no, we can't do that.
Right.
So that's not okay. We can't do that. Right. We have to keep it as neutral as possible and make sure that it is never becoming our master.
Right, so that's our job.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, absolutely. I got a couple more. Yeah. One more, one more. Last question, don't screw it up.
No, okay, silly question. If Flynn Rider had a therapy session with Shazam, what do you think they'd end up helping each other with?
Loving themselves.
Good answer.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Thank you so much for coming. I love you. God bless you. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Texas. We'll see you soon. Come on my table. Come on my table.